Recording in progress.
Progressive rock. Little math
Huh.
rock at the end there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was still
Did
on
you
time. I don't know.
played all the notes?
I played every note I could think of. Thank
Every
you
single
so
one.
much.
That was a
everybody.
hall of fame mouth licks right there.
I had to overcompensate a little bit, and I'll tell you all why in just a moment. But thanks to you, the listener, for joining us today. You know how the show goes. I, Chris Lux, I'm going to kick it with two of my Kroll Digital Buds of yesteryear. With me today, all the way in North Hollywood, California, back from a cruise to the edge.
I was so close to the edge, dude. We cruised there.
Yeah, Dawson was on a cruise with a bunch of flat earthers. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but give it
Yep.
up for Mike Dawson.
Hello, happy to be here. Really, really stoked to be home.
Yeah, I bet. I know how you feel. And then all the way in Long Beach, California, like myself, it's Kalen Bean.
What's going on?
Hey, Kalen. Good to see you, buddy. All
Good
right.
to see you too.
So yeah, the mouth licks were a little extra, as the kids say. The reason being was we are 2 members short at the moment. Matt Fondelier is not here, and Gary Smith is not here. Gary has some work stuff he had to do today, so I think
He's working out a new position, so I think they're really giving it to him over there at the moment.
big things. And then Matt, I don't know why he wasn't able to make it today, but he's had a rough week regardless. I'll let him talk about it more, but just give him some love because he informed us this week that his dog Taco has passed away. So he's really going through it. So please let Matt know that you're thinking of him, because that's really tough. So we're thinking of you, buddy. I know you're listening, because you always do. This is probably the third pass at this particular episode. So we love you, dude, and we'll hear from you next week. Look, it sucks. I mean, Dawson posted a picture of Boo not that long ago. It's like this stuff. It hits hard. So
No, it gets a little easier. It does, but it never goes away.
yeah. So anyway, we'll hear from Matt next week as well. But Doss, you had a 15-hour travel day yesterday.
Oh my God, yeah, dude.
That's too
They
much
kick us off the
travel.
boat at 7 a.m. and we got to get off with the crew. So it's like we are the first one. Well, at least my people are the first ones off, and then just flying. I hate flying. My ears got full of altitude, Chris, and I couldn't. Nothing I could do would pop my ears, so I was just miserable the entire time. And then you land at LAX. Never book a flight that lands at LAX at 4:15 p.m.
No.
Especially if you live in the valley. I didn't get home until 7
Good tip.
o'clock.
Good tip.
But I did a new thing, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but one of the guys on the cruise told me he does this. He said, since the Uber thing at LAX is such a mess, what he does is he gets off and he just jumps on the nearest hotel shuttle and gets to a hotel and calls an Uber from there. There were no hotel shuttles at my terminal, so I jumped on an Avis Rent-A-Car shuttle. And they took me out to a horrible place by LAX, and it just took forever to get an Uber. But at least I was out of LAX. But I was checking. You know how your iPhone crap gives you your circle of fitness or health or how much you move?
Yeah, your fitness monitor.
I checked it over the last 5-6 days. I walked 7 miles a day.
Freaking
on
close
that
them
cruise ship.
rings.
Oh man.
7. Now Apple thinks I'm like, dude, this guy must be really into exercise now. Let's increase his stuff. So now I can't even close the damn thing because all I do is walk the dog. But over 7 miles every day.
I thought you were going the other way with that, honestly.
Oh,
You're on
yeah?
a cruise, then you're on a flight, and then I
No,
thought you
I
were going
didn't.
lesser, but I didn't expect the over.
I was expecting
Yeah.
like a quarter ring,
Yeah.
Kalen. So that's impressive. I mean, look, there are a lot of stairs on cruises. I remember when I wore my watch, it counted all the flights of stairs that
Mm-hmm.
I went and everything too. So but I mean, travel day. You're sitting on a plane. Your ears full of altitude.
Yeah,
Not to
just
be walking around too much.
No, no, did not walk that much after that, but it was awesome. I introduced like 12 bands. Did hosted a couple of Q&As with artists that I knew nothing about. Nothing about. This kind of music, although I dig it, it's not my wheelhouse. It's very intricate rock. And there was a lot of progressive metal on this boat, like Haken and a band called Caligula's Horse. And they were just so fucking good. But yeah, every note was played. So anyway, doing my first Q&A with a band called IQ, and I'm like, great. IQ. Yeah, let's just fucking lead it off with the smartest people in the genre that I know nothing about. But at least I have a level of confidence from broadcasting that just led me to say, you know what? I don't care, man. You put me in the room with anybody and I can carry on a conversation. But so I did 2 of those, and then I had to host every single theme night that we did. Me and Izzy hosted every theme night. They had Cape Night. Cape Night. Yes, Cape Night was pretty awesome. Rick Wakeman from Yes judged the winner of Cape Night. We had oh dude, kind of controversial, bro. When I saw that this was happening, I was not really in favor of it, but then again, I don't make the rules. And I'm not going to tell a 5-year-old and 7-year-old girl that they cannot win.
Why not?
Some adult was very smart. An adult and his wife were very smart, and they put capes on their cute little girls and paraded them around, and Rick Wakeman chose the little girls to win the free cruise next year.
Oh, so Cape Night was fixed.
There was a lot of complaints, dude. You've never seen so many, not so many, but there are a lot of
one more.
There are a lot of 60-plus-year-old prog ladies who are very entitled, and they want to tell you how to do your job. And I literally got yelled at after Cape Night.
What was some of the feedback? Tell me about these debriefs here.
I got yelled at by an old person last week too, but go ahead.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was just about, the Cape Night. This lady comes up to me and she says, how could you let that happen? How could you let it happen that 2 little girls win? And I'm like, I understand. Look, I don't make the rules. Who makes the rules? Who makes the rules? You're the host. You're the one with the microphone. You should be making the rules. And I'm like, if you really have a problem, you can talk to my boss. Who's your boss? And I'm like, and I tell him my boss's name. And I'm like, I hope you have a great time, and I hope this doesn't ruin your cruise. And then I walk away and walk up to one of my friends, and I'm like, tell that bitch to go say the same thing to Rick Wakeman. Go tell that bitch to tell a 5-year-old and 7-year-old girl that I'm sorry, you can't win. I was so angry. But
was she wearing a cape when she was yelling?
No, she was not even participating in Cape Night.
That would have been great.
Yeah. There was one night they called it Prog of the Dead, and I was wondering like, what the hell is Prog of the Dead? It was zombie night on the ship, and one guy actually made paper mache out of toilet paper and completely turned his face into a crusted zombie. You could see this on the Cruise to the Edge Facebook page, but there's a picture of me that will be coming out soon where I'm like freaked out by this guy, and he does the whole Walking Dead walk, and he had it down, dude, and the makeup was perfect. And I was 50% acting and 50% legitimately frightened to death of this dude.
The mushrooms probably didn't help.
No, I didn't take any mushrooms, dude. I had way too much work to do. So I didn't partake in any of that.
The prog.
You didn't bring the weed microphone?
I brought the weed microphone. I had a balcony, dude.
I was trying to think of one.
Of course, I brought the weed microphone.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. He showed it to us. That thing.
Yeah. No, I smoked a few joints on my balcony. Usually in these cruises, we might get a window cabin, but we don't get balconies a lot of the time. And so the cool thing was, you never go back to your room because there's nothing to do in there but sleep, and you got to work anyway. But I would go back to my room for like 15, 20 minutes at a time and just go sit at the balcony, stare at the ocean, catch my breath, and go, okay, I'm ready to go back to work. And it was super cool.
Dang, I miss the cruise life, so I'm glad that you got to do it. And yeah, as a
Well, here's
I'm glad that those kids get to do it next year as well.
yeah. Here's the good news. Good news is I have been informed and asked to join the hosting crew on the Monsters of Rock cruise, finally, which is the Cadillac. Tesla headlined last year. Next year we got
Cadillac, Tesla. What else?
Yeah, nice. Night Rangers playing. It's all those great 80s, mostly rock metal bands like Slaughter and Faster Pussycat and Y&T, stuff that you guys were 3 when it came out. But it's still
I was not born yet, Dawson.
Okay. It's all the people who still party at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. And so that's gonna be fun. And now I get to do 3 cruises and 1 music festival with them every year. And they informed me that Monsters of Rock 2027. I probably shouldn't say this. I probably shouldn't say this.
Okay.
I'll say it on the Patreon.
But you will? Okay.
I'll say it on the Patreon. I really do not want to. I don't.
Teaser.
That's the thing, man. With this company, you stay in your lane, you do your job, and you won't get in trouble. And I'm super blessed. It certainly is a charmed life.
Yeah, I'm so pumped for you, man. Did anybody fall off the boat?
No, dude. However, there's a weird thing I was thinking about you guys when I was standing on the edge of my balcony. I was on deck 9, so it's quite a drop. And I was like, it was an irrational fear, but it was a very, very small fear. But there was a little piece of me that was like, what if I just momentarily lost my mind and jumped off this balcony?
Oh, I think that stuff all the time.
Yeah,
that's
a casual.
Okay.
When we were on the cruise and I would look over, I would think the exact same thing, and it would I would be scared to look over.
Scared the shit out of me.
At nighttime, it was like, oh, if I just jumped over here, I'd just be gone. No one would ever find me, and I would be dead.
Well, I asked Izzy about it because, a couple months ago, or about a month ago, Tammy Down's fiance, Tammy from Faster Pussycat, his fiance jumped off the balcony of a cruise ship. They were in a fight. She was drinking, and it was like, hey, well, I'll show you, and fucking jumped. And I asked Izzy, I'm like, what do you think was going through her head when she was in the water and the boat's leaving? And Izzy said, oh, the impact had to kill her. And I'm like, you hit the ocean from that high up.
I don't think you're that high up. It's like the Golden Gate Bridge.
That seems to be the consensus. That
I have heard rumors that you lose consciousness before the impact, even because the shock.
I feel like it would need to be higher for that.
I think yeah, dude. Because
I've heard like you have like a heart attack or something before you even hit the ground, but that's from a much higher.
I'm pretty sure
that would be more peaceful.
Jason Patrick did do that in Speed 2 Cruise Control, and he survived. So
okay.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, there you go.
Or somebody needs to check their facts. But I do have those weird feelings as well. Like, oh man, if I just had just a split second, even when I'm on the second floor of a mall, just looking over to the first floor from the railing there, I'm like, man, if I just go crazy for 1 second, I just jump off and boom, I'm done.
Well, it's good to know you guys think that too, because
it actually weirds me out that you haven't thought that.
That was their first time. It's like when I'm driving up to Big Bear and you're going up those mountains and you're like, hey, what if I just turn the car off the side of this mountain and go tumbling down? I think about that too. Like if I just go crazy and go fuck it.
So in the
oh, what the angel of death? Not now.
Not now.
Not now.
What?
And
I thought I should just recommend that he does it. I mean, he's looking over.
Okay.
Already thinking about it.
By the way, guys, can I clear the air real quick?
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you?
Matt's dog.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't me. I only do humans. Okay, so my cousin Jesse, he's the one that does animals. He's a bitch. We hate him. Every time we see him at Thanksgiving, he's the worst. So I just want to let everybody know that wasn't me. That was Jesse, and we all hate him anyway. So
Jesse.
make that clear. Yeah,
I like that you guys are at least still celebrating holidays in hell. That's good on you.
We gotta show our gratitude, man. But anyway, yeah. Taco was not me. Just want to make that clear so people can stop DMing me. Just okay. Val Kilmer, though, that was me. I'm sorry about that, everybody.
Jeez.
Oh.
Wow.
Angel of death.
So as I was running around introducing bands, I always try to think of new ways to introduce a band, right? And so if I didn't have anything, to say, I'd just go backstage and I'd just pace for like 7-8 minutes. And then finally something would come to me. I'd be like, all right. And then I rehearse it out and I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And there's always a opening, a middle, and bringing the band on, so hold on.
We're holding.
Cough button.
Dawson's using
Sorry, I'm fighting the cruise crud right now.
It's called the norovirus, but yeah, cruise crud.
Yeah. No, I don't have that.
You're not sick, Dawson. You're not sick.
I'm not sick.
Tell yourself that you'll be fine. There you go.
I'm not sick.
That's
I'm just, beating down the cruise crud. Anyway, this one introduction came to me and I got it on video. I'll share it. I brought my Rode mics, wireless lav, and I set up my phone to record from like front of house, plug the wireless lav into it, and then set the other end of the wireless lav at front of house so you could hear, both things, me backstage or on stage very clear, and then what's coming out of the house system. And so anyway, I thought of this intro and I said, really simple. I said, science has taught us there is no sound without atmosphere. Here to provide both. And then I introduced the band. And it got to a point where every band, 5 dudes, whatever, walking on stage, they're all fucking high-fiving me. And they loved every intro. And then by like day 3, if a band saw me walk backstage and they knew I was doing their intro, they started going, yeah, dude, all right, you're here. So
it pumps them up just knowing that they're going to be brought up by you.
Yeah. And, my only job is to serve as the transition between house music and next show. The job is you got to do some business things, tell people about a charity auction or what's going on, my only job is to get people excited and to cheer and to make a lot of noise so that the artist feels good.
When you're talking to a big crowd like that, do you pick somebody to look at, or you just talk it like just as if it were a big blob of humanity?
I do 2 things. I look at the people in the front, like make eye contact. I make no.
Where are you from? What do you do?
No, but I make eye contact with most of the first 2 rows because I can see them the best. And then, but most of the time, I just look over the backs of everybody's heads. I look at the top of everybody's heads and just kind of scan the crowd. Yeah, no, it's badass.
Yeah, man. So I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad it was a success, and you'll be at the
Monsters.
Monsters, dude. Freaking
Yeah.
Yeah, Catalina One.
Too bad Tesla's not going to be on Monsters this year.
Well, I thought we were dropping stuff on Patreon. Man, what are you?
I love that band.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna have a banger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you'll be all right. But okay. Well, look, you're in reasonably good shape for somebody who just got back.
I'm in remarkably good shape. I had this conversation with one of my friends, and my guardian angels are working overtime right now because all things considered, I should be dead right now.
Oh.
Not that bad. Not that bad. You know me. I exaggerate from time to time.
Yeah. Right.
But I got a total of, I didn't get more than 5 hours of sleep in any one night. One day I got to take a nap, but I couldn't fall asleep. So, I slept 25 hours in 5 days and then worked from 9 a.m. to midnight usually.
But it's all good people, good times.
Great people.
Yeah.
And this particular crew, they don't micromanage you. Everyone who does their job is the best at their job. And you just get a list of the shit you got to do, and you're expected to get it done. And you always got to check in production. I would check in production like 20 times a day and go and find my bosses, Dana and April. And I say, hey, what can I do to make your life easier right now? And a bunch of times, my favorite thing is Dana will be like, I need a cruise announcement made. I'm like, sweet. So you go into this room behind the lobby desk of the ship, and you hold this button, and it goes bing bong. And then I'd be like, good morning, hermanos and sisters. This is Dawson with another awesomeness update on Cruise to the Edge.
That's so cool.
I don't remember anything I said on this cruise, but one cruise we went to Mexico. We got back from a day on shore, and I got back in, and I said, did anyone else try to use their high school Spanish? Apparently, there is no biblioteca in Cozumel. And then just moving on. And then I'd walk out.
That's a good one.
I'd walk out of the room, and I'd see people in the hall, and then people would stop me for the next 10 minutes. Dude, it's so much fun. I'm telling you, dude. I am the luckiest dude alive. Yeah, stopped in 2 places. We went to fucking Haiti. No, we went to the Dominican Republic. But the Dominican Republic place is just both of our stops were strictly tourist places that the cruise line built and supports. So essentially, you're getting off a boat and getting on another land boat. So we got off on the first one. We got off on the first at Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. And me and Izzy and this dude Brian and his wife Erica and their security guard guy. And he was the security guard for karaoke. Every venue, all artists. Yeah, his name is Guy. So anyway, we had like 4 or 5 shots of tequila already. And we were just kind of walking through thinking about going back to the ship. And I see a sign that says, I love Tano Bay. Except the A in Bay is a lowercase a. And I see it and I just glance at it and I say, I love Tano Boy. And we all started laughing. And then we, of course, had to make a fictitious boy band. We are now the Tano Boys. And we have promo shots and everything. It was a lot of fun. In karaoke one night, and I stay away. I go to karaoke and watch and laugh and enjoy some stuff. Some people are really good. Some people are really bad. But
what's your song? You gotta have a song.
On every cruise, I do both parts of the duet. You Don't Bring Me Flowers.
I feel like I wouldn't know which song it is.
That's Neil Diamond and Barbara Streisand.
Okay.
And it was the
yours,
best
Caleb?
time I
Baby
ever did
Shark?
it. It was the best time
You
I
know
ever
what
did
mine is, Chris. Come on.
What's yours, Kalen?
Kalen does no scrubs.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Chris, what's yours?
I've gotten the best feedback from either Mr. Brightside or Love Song by Sarah Bareilles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, I like to keep people on their toes.
Mm.
Speaking of karaoke, though, what do you prefer people to be good or them to be bad? Is it lame when somebody's good? Is it
No,
awesome?
when somebody's good, it's great, but it really depends on the song they choose. Like, you know the song "All by Myself"?
Yeah.
I
I'm
wanna
pretty sure
be.
Harlan Williams sings that.
Dude.
In Half Baked.
This woman did that on the boat and frickin' nailed it. I mean, just and it stretches out like, dude, it goes an octave up at the end, and she hit every single note, and you know she left the stage to uproarious applause.
Very cool.
And then when people are really bad, I love it. It's the middle ground people that I don't like. The people who can kind of sing and they choose a weak song or one that everyone can sing. And it's like, you know, I hate it when people sing Frank Sinatra.
Really?
Because, yeah, like you're not that good. You'll never be that good.
Well, nobody's ever going to
If you could sing like Frank, you wouldn't be doing it in a fucking karaoke. But one guy did Frank, and I was like, whatever, dude.
Personally, I like the people that are into it. I don't, regardless of their pitch or their performance, it's fine. I don't like the people that just want to cater to their friends.
Yeah.
Not interested in that. Like where they're just like laughing and you know it's like an inside joke between them and their table. It's like, what are you doing? Get out of here.
Two guys did Tenacious D tribute. And did it all perfectly. And it was hilarious. Well, yeah, it's good times.
Damn. Now I want to sing some karaoke with you guys.
And that's the thing, dude. Karaoke starts at 10:30 and doesn't end till 1:30. And then on another stage, you've got what's called Late Night Live, where all the cruisers themselves have been working on songs via Zoom with a music director, and cruisers perform, you know, great sets. And that's going on until 2 a.m. So music starts at 10 a.m. and doesn't stop until 2 a.m. Every day. Oh, check this out. On my schedule at 9 o'clock in the morning one day, I had to, and there was a question mark next to my name. It just said Dawson. And it was Women of Prog photo, where just the chicks who are on the boat. And I don't know why we did this in the theater. We could have used the cigar lounge because this is a 90% dudes cruise. But all the women of Prague got together in the theater, and I was there. We were taking a picture of them with this big banner, and I was asked to be there. And just to host it and to welcome everybody and coordinate the taking of this picture. So the first thing I said was, welcome to the Women of Prague photo shoot. You may be wondering why a dude is talking to you. I say, I'm here so you can tell me what I'm doing wrong. And most of them laughed.
That's funny.
I was charming.
Yeah. Well,
So.
I'm glad you had such a good time, dude.
Yeah, sorry. Lots of stories. Don't mean to.
Sounds like fun.
I just keep remembering these things as we're talking about them, and yeah, it's good times.
That
good
is
times.
a sign of a good trip.
Yeah.
If you're making that many memories and everything is just reminding you of another one. So I'm glad, dude. And yeah, you're gonna keep doing this, and I'm pumped for you, man. This is
It's fun, dude. As long as
great
this cruise keeps going, I got a job.
So, Kalen, you were yelled at by an old person as well.
I was, yeah. It's a pretty
What'd
quick
you do?
story.
What did you do?
If I was in the wrong here, let me know, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't worth getting yelled at. I decided to get a little exercise in. When I
Oh,
exercise, I like to ride my bike pretty much down the river, like the riverbank that's all cemented off. I like to ride my riverbank all the way down to the beach.
I
It's a
know
nice little
this.
exercise. Yeah. So I haven't done it in a while. So I was like, oh, I need to go get my tires filled. There's a bike shop right around the corner from my house. So I rode my bike over to the bike shop. It was Sunday. It was closed. I was like, whatever. And I'm riding back on the sidewalk. There's a group of about
There it is.
yeah. There's a group of about three kids in front of me, and I'm coming up behind them. And so I just go around them. You know, I hit the grass, go around them, keep driving. And as I'm pedaling up to this old guy with earbuds in, I could see, I got my headphones on. I got these headphones on, actually. I'm listening to music, and I could see him. He's waving his hands, and his face is angry. It is angry, and he's waving his hands. Why I chose to stop, I don't know. Should have just kept going, but he clearly saw me go around these teenagers, and I go up to him and I take one little headphone off, and he immediately starts yelling. He goes, "You are a vehicle. You need to be in the street. You are not allowed to ride your bike on the sidewalk. You need to move over to the street." By the way, this is like a 2-lane, very busy street. I didn't have a helmet on or anything, but that's not an excuse. I wouldn't have gone into the street anyway. And he starts yelling at me, and I just told him to fuck off.
Whoa.
And I told him
Wait,
to
how'd you
fuck
say it?
off.
How'd you say it?
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, fuck off." I
Right.
put my headphones back in. I heard him say, "Hey, asshole." And as I was leaving, I told him to go fuck himself.
Wow.
And
Good.
yeah.
Good.
I don't let that slip out to anybody, really, ever.
Wow.
And I gotta say,
that's
it felt-
uncharacteristic.
It felt kind of good. Yeah, I got a little steam off. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah, you're wrong, man. No, look, as a couple questions first. These kids that you went around that sparked
Yeah.
this old person to yell at you, were they wearing capes of any sort? Because this is
I
like
think
really-
one of them had something on that was kind of
See.
close to a cape, to be honest.
Number two, as a driver, I do get nervous because some of these bikers will veer pretty far left out of the bike lane to where I'm like, my side mirror is just gonna clip this guy.
Well, first off, there is no bike lane where that street is. And as a driver myself, I always fucking hate having to go around bikers. It's always very nerve-wracking, and you always got to kind of swerve into the other lane. And I just, as a driver, hate fucking having to deal with bikers. And so, like, I never take the street when I'm on my bike. I always just go sidewalk.
Like, I think kids can take sidewalks, but yeah, an adult. I mean, look, I've seen you bike too. You're like a full speed guy. Like you're a full
Yeah, I'm just
sprint
I'm
the
tearing
whole
it up.
time. I've
Yeah.
seen the GoPro footage.
Right. Yeah, I GoPro all my rides.
So I understand what he's talking about, but you know, it is weird that he had to stop you and yell at you. It sounded like he wanted to get some steam off as well.
Looked like it.
But man, you must have really got under his skin when you fought back.
I think I did.
Oh my.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so dang, dude.
I don't know, it felt
yeah.
good.
You're taking the
No,
bike
I-
out,
I-
though. That's good.
Yeah, and I will not be taking it onto the street either. I'm going to be maintaining the sidewalk.
He's gonna put booby traps, spike strips. I mean, if I was him, I was like, this is never happening again. I'm gonna keep my
Yeah,
eyes peeled
no,
for that crazy
no,
guy.
I don't care what you say. I'm
You
sticking
check-
to the sidewalk.
You check next door if he complained about you.
No,
You should go on next door. There's probably a few posts about you. I think I saw a couple of them.
no. Yeah, right.
But yeah, you know, he was probably just protecting those kids. They needed his protection, and they got it.
Mm.
For
Yeah. What would those 15-year-olds have done if? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't, dude. 15-year-olds terrifying.
They were 15-year-olds.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, no, these aren't like 7, 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
These are young. These are teenagers.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Teenagers, they don't count. They're fine.
They're kids to me.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad everyone's okay. Everybody's safe.
Yeah, I got some steam off. He got some steam off. I
You
didn't
guys
run
just-
over the kids. Everyone's good.
Yeah, you guys just let each other release a little steam.
Yeah,
You
we
did
just
like
released each other. That's all.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were cathartic
fine.
for each.
That's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody
Good of you.
won.
That was a saintly thing you did.
I think so.
Yeah. A
Everyone needs
well-placed fuck off can say
everyone
that.
needs a good release every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
Perfect.
Let's do a comments. Let's do
Why
some
not?
comments. You guys down? Yeah, let's go.
Yep.
It's time for listener
All right. And there are a few ways to leave us comments, you listeners over there. Either you can do it on our Facebook group. Just go to facebook.com/groups/Bobo Army Worldwide LLC. Answer a few questions, and then we might let you in. Favorite place on the net. And also, there's Patreon. Go to patreon.com/watercooler. For as little as $5 a month, you can have ad-free episodes, an extra episode each week, and then there are opportunities for movie clubs and meetups and stuff like that to hear the real lowdown on Monsters to the Edge. All right.
Monsters to the edge.
Monsters to the Edge, excuse me.
That's right.
Jacob More or Less on Patreon. He wrote, titties. That is all. Thank you.
Nice.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Was that in reference to anything, or is it just we're all just pro titties?
I don't know, but I did say
Yes.
one of the we had a fantasy night on the cruise, and one of the ladies was dressed as an elf, and she was very buxomy. And I had said, in some way or another, I said 80085, and the people who got it.
80085.
I get it.
I get it.
it.
Yeah. I had a
Man,
I
it is crazy
had
how
a calculator.
how far that kind of entertainment went back then. It's just
It still does, dude.
Oh,
still
man,
does,
that
apparently.
Would, that would just entertain for hours.
Yep.
Caitlin was more of a period parentheses kind of guy, if I recall his early texts in the Corolla chat. All right, let's see. Our card says Peak Cape. Sorry, there's a jet literally flying over my house.
It is loud.
Can you hear it?
It's a loud. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was going in and out at first, but there.
You might be able to. You'll probably hear it soon, Caitlin. It's probably gonna hit your house. All right. Yeah, there's the Long Beach Grand Prix this week, so it's gonna sound like bees buzzing for a few days. Let's see. Our card says Peak Cape is Frodo's cape in Lord of the Rings. It's a good cape.
It's a good cape.
There was somebody dressed as Frodo in Lord of the Rings at Fantasy Night.
And yet they didn't win.
Yeah.
No.
Best cape. So
No.
I guess it can't be.
No.
Cape if they're not winning the cape.
The dude who won the Cape Night was Gandalf the Gay. That's how he introduced himself. He's just a big, huge gay dude. But he has staff and everything. And he was wearing one of Nana's moo-moos and a wizard hat.
Was he a Tano boy?
No. He was not a Tano boy, bro.
Don Powell says, I hate being a nerd. F it. No, I don't. Matt, big fan, cheeseball enthusiast. You said, quote, another Marvel hero, and then brought up the first Marvel hero of the conversation. Batman and Superman are DC heroes. So when you said, oh, here's another Marvel hero, and you brought up Doctor Strange, GTFO, man. I may have filled in some of those blanks, but yeah. And then Mike J. Nelson says, Doctor Strange doesn't have a cape. It's called the Cloak of Levitation. I thought you called yourself a nerd, man.
That's some really good nerding, you guys. That's
That
some
is
really
some-
good nerding.
This is
I thought
awesome.
I was a nerd, but
Good effort.
I need some
Really nice.
some guidance from the real ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
You guys should be on Cruise to the Edge next year. March 4th through 9th, 2026.
They're-
CruiseToTheEdge.org.
They're-
I want to hear from them what Peak Cape is, because I feel like they got a couple fucking
Yeah.
bangers hidden up their sleeve.
Well-
If they're
Yeah, all they told
naming
us
the
is who it's
fucking
not.
Doctor Strange cloak, and they exactly.
Right.
Let's see here. Stuart J. Moore says, as a former DC Metro commuter, Chris, or here, let me do it. Sorry. Chris! Oh, Gary. The doors break all the time. Just be glad it wasn't a hot car where the AC is broken. Oh, nice. All right. So
Yeah, but they don't always break because someone sticks a skateboard in it and wrenches it open.
that's true. Very embarrassing. And then David Brosauer Smith 69 says This guy gets the guy who works at 7-Eleven's MySpace, but not the date in this trip diary. Chris, do you even journal, bro? Oh, funny. Oh, because I don't write the dates on my journal. I just wrote, but I did have the guy's his MySpace address, Willard420. That's funny. But thanks, David. I'm glad you're liking the bussin' makes me feel good. And then he says, Dawson, I'm going to go ahead and need you to explain the connection between no filters, wildfires, and chemicals getting in you when you're smoking a cigarette. Thank you in advance.
It's a joke.
There you go, David. But thank you for subscribing to Patreon, buddy. And then, I was thinking of smoking today, actually, because I went to a farmer's market earlier this week, and they had roasted peanuts in the shell. And I thought, I'm going to get me some roasted peanuts in the shell. And I've been eating them all week, and they are leaving just a mess of just shell remnant. Because when you crack them, it's like LeBron James doing his little chalk thing before the game. It's just a plume of peanut pieces that just go everywhere. To where now I have to get the handheld vacuum after I'm done eating my peanuts and just and clean.
Now, are you a suck the salt off the shell and then break it open, or do you just break it open?
I'm a sucker.
You break it open, eat it, and then suck the salt off.
I do it all.
Like
Really? That's backwards.
These are unsalted
Wow.
shells.
Yeah.
This is from the farmer's market, so they're unsalted. They're just freshly roasted.
Okay.
But
So
if
no need to suck the
If I'm at
shell.
a baseball game, man, I'll just toss those things in. I suck, I eat, and then I suck some more, and then then my mouth has like sores all over it by the end of it. But whatever.
Been
it's
there.
fine. Yeah, Keelan knows.
Got one right now.
See, dude, you always have one, man.
Dude, it's on my tongue and it hurts to talk. So I'm used
lay
right
off
right there, and yeah, it is
citric
painful. It's
acid, man.
I love having just like lemon in my water, as you know, and I can only have one a day, otherwise they pop up. So I need to time out when I'm gonna put my one lemon in my water throughout the day.
You really have to use it wisely.
Yeah.
But anyway, I feel like, so when I was vacuuming up, every time I've been eating peanuts this week, I'm like, oh, it's like when smokers would have to like freshen the air or like clean up after themselves or like throw them in. Like there's a ritual now between my addiction and what I have to do afterwards. Yeah, smokers did stuff like that. I don't know. You smoked, didn't you?
I never did that though.
Well, people.
What was it again? I don't know if I ever did it.
If after you smoke, you like hit a little air freshener in the area, or no, I don't know. Then what am I doing?
I've never seen a smoker do that.
That doesn't happen.
I'm
I Febreze my car every now and then.
Oh yeah, you
That's
Febreze
about
your
it.
car,
I guess that counts.
You clean, or you spray a little cologne on you. Maybe when you're trying to hide that you were smoking. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Let's see. Peter Morrow says, completely random, but I was watching Food Network's Tournament of Champions 6 with my wife, and the battle protein was lobster. One of the chefs kept talking about the claw meat, and I kept hearing it in Gary's voice. I don't think I have that drop. Claw. Yeah, anyway, miss Gary.
Chris!
I know, I miss you too, buddy. All right, well, I think those are enough comments for today. Just because we got to get going with the Patreon. We have a couple of bridged episodes because of the lack of staff. But we'll be all right. We're going to get through it. So why don't we go around the horn, get our plugs in, and then, we'll GTFO and start the Patreon recording. So I'll start all the way over there in Long Beach, California. Kaylin, what can we plug for you?
We'll definitely check out our Patreon. It is less than a cup of coffee from Starbucks, as we like to say. You get tons of extra content, and ad-free episodes, along with a bunch of other free stuff. And, of course, Just Fooling About, which is me and my dad's podcast. We started a new format when we can't get guests, and this is actually just going to be a regular thing from now on. It's just me and my dad and his buddy, who's very knowledgeable about movies. We talk everything movies. This week, we did a whole episode on Val Kilmer and the making of Tombstone. So if you're interested in that,
Nice.
go to Just Fooling About YouTube channel. And Yeah, I got shamed for my cable management on my YouTube comments in that
Oh, I know.
in that video. It shamed me. Yeah, it stung. It stung more than some of the other comments.
Oh,
So
that
but
hit you deep.
they got me good. Yeah, I wrote it. I wrote them. I go, yeah, calm down. All right, you're a little harsh
Yeah.
there.
You know, it was that old guy probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew where you
Yeah, it
were.
was.
Yeah.
Well, a couple things. Kaylin, first off, a little marketing tip. Don't say, oh, when we can't get guests, we're going to do this. No, you got to change it to, we're going to do this because we think it's awesome. Don't say like because when you can't get guests. It's just, you know what I mean?
Well, all right. I'll piggyback on that. It was started as like, oh, we can't get guests. Normally we'd take the week off. We're like, all right, well, let's just do this instead. And we had so much fun the first time that we are now saying, okay, we're doing this every week. And if we do get a guest, that's just going to be a second episode that week.
Boom.
So
Yeah. Oh,
there
so
you go.
yeah,
That's how much
better.
fun those episodes are.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. Angel of Death, do you want to do a plug?
Yeah, I want to second Kaylin's plug. I would like you to listen to Just Fooling About, and watch Tombstone too. Like the Val Kilmer thing, I'm really sorry. It had to be done. It was a long time.
Was that you?
I'm not happy about it. Yeah, that was me. Every human is me. And
He's in hell now.
He's a legend. No, I just do the death stuff. I mean, what?
Oh, okay. You're not the devil. I'm sorry. Oh, okay.
I'm not Saint Peter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's Saint Peter. He's a good dude. But
I'm sorry.
I'm just the one that kind of handles the leaving the
Yeah. All right.
life. Yeah. So anyway, Val Kilmer, legend. Watch Tombstone. Check out Just Fooling About. And yeah, Jesse sucks. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, Angel of Death. Dawson, any plug for you?
Yeah. Check out Izzy Presley's Another Effing Podcast. We recorded a podcast of his from my balcony in the back of the boat on day 5. And Saturday night I am at the American Comedy Club with Adam Carolla. 2 shows, 7:30 and 9:30 in San Diego.
Great club.
Great club.
I have one of my favorite stories from that club, like from a live show. I'll bring it up next during the Patreon. And
Cool.
then as for me, I'm playing every first Saturday Marina Wine in Long Beach.
Yeah, residency.
7 to 10 or 8 to 11. I don't know. Just at night. And it's a long
Hell yeah,
time, so
dude.
you'll catch me. Yeah. So, all right. And once again, give Mr. Fondelier some love because Taco was a good pup. All right. We'll see you later this week for Patreon. We love you. Goodbye. There's just us two. Oh.